Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cosmic Owl Astrology with Louise Eddington. I am the Cosmic Owl, owner of the private membership communities, the Spiral Weave and the Nest. You can join the Spiral Weave here on YouTube or by becoming a Substack paid subscriber. You can find the Nest on my website, louiseeddington.com. And I was today old when I realised I could create my YouTube thumbnail and have it behind me because Doom has changed things. So here we have the Scorpio Full Moon, What Rises Must Be Released, and it's on May the 12th. There you go. And there's a reminder to subscribe. Now then, oh, excuse me. This is this never-ending cold. I feel fine, it's just, clearing out, shall we say. But, so we have this full moon on May the 12th, 2025, Scorpio full moon. But before I dive into that, and after I've asked you to please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, all those things, I want to take a moment to something I've been asked about, the so-called 3 days of darkness that has reared its head again. It's a prophecy rooted in Catholic eschatology, a time when the world is said to be plunged into chaos and complete darkness. Now, listen, I'm not here to argue with anyone's beliefs or personal intuition, but I don't feel this coming. Not now, not in May, not in the way people are afraid of. But in fact, if you Google 5 days of darkness, if you search it in whatever search engine you use, you will find it rears its head every few years. What I do feel, what we are moving through, is a massive collective clearing. Things are being revealed, systems are cracking, people are waking up, and yes, that can feel like darkness at times. But it's not punishment, it's purging, just like my cold. And let's be honest, fear-based prophecies have been used for centuries to control people, to paralyze the soul, and to keep us small. This is not the time to go into hiding. This is the time to anchor in your light, speak your truth, and stay connected. If anything, the 3 days of darkness we might face are the moments we spend spiraling in fear instead of choosing to co-create the future. We are not here to survive the prophecy. We are here to change the story. So I would like to give you a grounding mantra, okay? You can put your hand on your heart or whatever you wish to do, and you can say this out loud. I am the light in the shadow. I do not fear the dark. I walk with truth, and I am not alone. Okay. Okay, so first I am going to share the chart for this Scorpio full moon. I'm just going to point at a couple of things or a few things, and then I'm going to stop the share and just talk. But first I will show you the card I pulled for this full moon. 6 of Blades from the Red Threads Tarot. I will come back to that in a moment. Let me share the chart. All right, so the full moon is on May the 12th. As I said, you can see it there. And it's at 22 degrees Scorpio. It is conjunct Juno. It's making an almost exact square to Chariklo, Pallas Athena, and incidentally asteroid Lilith is there. It's also making a trine aspect to Centaur Nessus that is right here in Pisces. I didn't put it in the chart, but that's okay. And it's and Nessus is bringing in a wide conjunction with the North Node, Ceres and Saturn, who are at the same degree. So this is trying this. That's a lot of water, by the way. Obviously, the moon is opposing the sun because it's a full moon, and the sun is at 22 degrees Taurus, conjunct Uranus. And we also have a trine between Chiron and Jupiter, with Jupiter moving fast now towards that exact sextile, aspect of opportunity, but it's also to Eris, and this is pointing right at the Moon Juno conjunction, making a finger of fate or God. And lastly, Mars and Pluto are the co-guides for this, and I will speak to all of that. But first of all, this is on a universal 8-day. It's a degree number 22, and I showed you the card I pulled. So here we go. So the waters know, crossing the threshold of truth. This full moon has a hum beneath it, a vibration in the bones. If you're feeling it already, it's not your imagination. This is the kind of lunation that doesn't just reveal, it moves something. So again, it's May the 12th, 1:26 p.m. Eastern. It's the Scorpio full moon at 22 Scorpio, an intense master number of power and precision. And it lands on a universal 8-day, the number of karma, consequence, and embodied leadership. I've always had a healthy respect for Scorpio full moons, ever since years ago my home flooded under one, and there's a lot of water in this one. And that memory lives in my nervous system like a watermark. And while it may not flood this time, I do feel the potential for things to rise suddenly, deeply, and irreversibly. And that's exactly what this chart reflects. Not just water, but truth. Not just emotion, but the impossible to avoid call to grow. So the full moon itself, 22 Scorpio, conjunct retrograde Juno, brings up deep relational contracts, soul bonds, and buried truths around intimacy or obligation, and they will rise to the surface. So opposing the Sun and Uranus in Taurus, this isn't comfort, this is shock, release, and nervous system rewiring. Mars and Leo and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius are the co-guides for this moon. Mars brings in emotional theatre, bold action. Pluto then pulls it all into collective reckoning. This is personal truth intersecting with collective upheaval. And then we have the finger of fate, or Yod, or finger of God, whatever you want to call it. That's a finger pointing from Jupiter in Gemini, which is expansion through voice and thought, and Chiron and Eris in Aries, wounded action and divine disruption. This is a fated moment of, of emotional redirection. What are you afraid to say? What choice is rising that you didn't plan for? What feels both terrifying and inevitable? The Yod points directly into Scorpio's heart, saying emotional courage and integrity over illusion. The square to Chariklo, Lilith, and Pallas in Aquarius, as if all the other things weren't enough. This is the sacred feminine in her defiance, her strategy, and her refusal to be pacified. Chariklo holding space for healing, but not at the cost of your truth. Lilith, asteroid Lilith, refusing to be silenced. Pallas Athena, strategic intelligence and pattern recognition. Are you protecting your truth or stalling your growth? Is your silence strategic or self-abandoning? The aspects to Pisces bring in ancestral flow. The moon is trine Nessus and widely trine to Saturn, Ceres, and the North Node, all in Pisces. This is ancestral grief, karmic clearing, and the soft current beneath the storm. If you need to weep, to shed, to scream underwater, you're not alone. There is support in the unseen. There is softness holding the sharpness, and the future is quietly inviting you to let go of the survival script. And then we have the Six of Blades, the tarot. This card says, you don't have to be healed to move forward. You just have to be willing to cross the water. It's a crossing card, a threshold card, a moment of saying, I can't stay in what I have outgrown, even if I don't know where I'm landing. This full moon may not give you comfort, but it will give you momentum. So, some final thoughts. Okay. If the ground feels shaky, if the emotions feel big, know that you're not breaking, you're crossing. Let the Scorpio full moon show you what is no longer sustainable, no longer sacred, no longer true. Then let it go, even if it leaves a watermark. Because what comes after the flood? New soil, new seeds, and finally room to breathe. This Scorpio full moon is one of those fated floodgate fire in the water moments where you can feel the universe leaning in and saying, now. There we go. It's a biggie. And no, I don't see the 3 days of darkness in the way it's being predicted. Much love. I love you. Bye-bye.